feelings. One aunt even said I should have just aborted. But everyone agreed on one thing. We all needed to be there for the sick baby. My own pregnancy became pushed to the side. I didn't mind much, though. My baby was mine and my husband's, not my mom's. It just sucked how anytime I mentioned anything exciting, the conversation got redirected. 3 days before my due date, I was admitted for monitoring. Jacqueline's baby was still critical. The doctor said the next 48 hours would determine if he'd survive. The scariest part was that I could see her through my doorway, standing in the hall between the NICU and maternity ward. And she wasn't looking at the rooms or the nurses passing by. She was staring directly at my belly with an expression I'd never seen before. Tomorrow morning, they're inducing me. Jacqueline knows the exact time. She's been asking the nurses questions about the delivery room locations and whether they ever leave babies unattended. The NICU is 1 floor below maternity. If her baby doesn't make it through the night, I don't know what she'll do when mine is born healthy in the morning. The clock showed 3 a.m. when I woke up to Kyle's voice in the dark, already talking to someone on his phone about Jacqueline asking the nurses where babies get taken after delivery. He was pacing by the window, explaining how she'd been watching the hallways and timing how long nurses stayed in each room. The charge nurse on the other end promised to add a special security code to my chart right away and alert the whole night shift. Kyle wasn't satisfied, though, his voice getting louder as he demanded specific names of who would protect us and exactly what they'd do if Jacqueline tried to get near our baby. His hands were shaking as he wrote down names on the hospital notepad, asking about door locks and panic buttons, and whether security could physically stop someone from entering our room. The nurse kept trying to calm him down, but Kyle wanted a meeting with hospital security before my induction started at 8 a.m. Within an hour, Francis Bergman showed up at our door wearing a security supervisor badge and carrying a thick folder of protocols. He walked us through every single safety measure they had, showing us pictures of the electronic badges that tracked everyone's location, and explaining how the infant security tags would trigger an automatic lockdown if anyone tried to remove them or take a baby past certain doors. Francis took out his phone and had me send him the clearest photo I had of Jacqueline, so he could distribute it to every security guard on every shift with instructions to watch for her. He showed us the dedicated officer assigned to the maternity ward and gave us his direct number, promising someone would check on us every hour once labor started. At 5 a.m., someone knocked, and Olympia Hicks from Social Services came in with a clipboard full of forms, explaining she needed to document all the threats Jacqueline had made for potential CPS involvement. She sat in the uncomfortable visitor chair asking detailed questions about every interaction, every threat, every time Jacqueline had mentioned our baby, while I felt my face burning with embarrassment at having to tell a complete stranger about my family's mess. Olympia explained the process for getting an emergency restraining order and said she could start the paperwork right now if we wanted, that a judge could issue it before the baby was even born. My phone started buzzing nonstop as Mom apparently told everyone in the family group chat about the security measures we'd requested. Half my cousins thought I was being dramatic and overreacting to a new mother's stress, while the other half started sharing stories I'd never heard before about times Jacqueline had scared them or done something unstable when she didn't get her way. My aunt sent 3 paragraphs about how Jacqueline had keyed her car after not being invited to a party in high school, and my cousin